In 2008, Starbucks did something no global brand had ever done. It voluntarily shut down more than 7,000 stores in a single day. Not because of a strike, not because of a disaster, but because its founder believed the company was losing its soul. That decision nearly destroyed Starbucks and ultimately saved it. Starbucks didn't start as a global giant. It began as a premium coffee experience. Carefully sourced beans, highly trained baristas, stores designed to feel like a third place, not home, not work, but somewhere people belonged. Coffee was the product, but experience was the promise. Success came fast, then faster. Starbucks stores appeared everywhere: cities, highways, airports. Revenue climbed. The stock surged. From the outside, Starbucks looked unstoppable. Inside, growth quietly replaced purpose. To scale faster, Starbucks automated. Machines replaced manual skill. Efficiency replaced ritual. The smell of fresh coffee faded. Baristas became operators instead of artisans. No alarms went off. But something essential was slipping away. Sales didn't collapse overnight. They softened. Customers visited less often. Stores felt identical, not special. Starbucks was everywhere, yet less memorable everywhere it existed. The numbers looked fine. The connection was not. In 2008, the global financial crisis hit. Consumer spending dropped sharply. Starbucks sales declined. The stock price collapsed. For the first time, Starbucks wasn't just slowing. It was vulnerable. The margin for error vanished. Howard Schultz returned as CEO. He didn't blame the economy. He didn't blame competition. He blamed leadership. In his words, Starbucks had lost its way. The issue wasn't revenue. It was identity. Schultz saw the problem clearly. Too many stores, too many shortcuts, too much efficiency. Not enough respect for craft. Fixing this wouldn't be easy. And it wouldn't be cheap. Schultz made the call. More than 7,100 US Starbucks stores would close for one day. Every barista would be retrained. Millions in revenue would be lost. Investors panicked. Executives objected. Schultz didn't hesitate. Baristas were retrained from scratch. Coffee knowledge, espresso technique, pride in the craft. Starbucks also closed weak stores permanently. Menus were simplified. The company chose depth over scale. Customers noticed the change. Service improved. Consistency returned. Employees felt valued again. Starbucks didn't rush growth. It stabilized first. Then it expanded carefully. Starbucks survived because it paused. Because it chose identity over ego, craft over convenience, trust over short-term revenue. Most companies failed chasing growth. Starbucks succeeded by remembering who it was. Inside Starbucks, resistance was strong. Executives worried about optics. Investors feared revenue loss. Store managers questioned the timing. Closing thousands of stores during a crisis looked reckless. But Schultz believed delay was more dangerous than action. Doing nothing would cost far more than one day of sales. That single day cost Starbucks millions of dollars. News headlines questioned leadership. Analysts criticized the move. Competitors watched closely. From the outside, it looked like weakness. From the inside, it was commitment. Starbucks chose long-term trust over short-term comfort. The sessions went beyond technique. Baristas were reminded why their role mattered. Why coffee deserved respect, why consistency builds trust. For the first time in years, employees felt the company listening, not just measuring performance. Starbucks slowed expansion deliberately. Poor-performing stores were shut down permanently. New locations were approved cautiously. Every store had to earn its place. Scale was no longer the strategy. Quality was. For employees, the message was clear. Leadership was willing to sacrifice revenue to protect what mattered. Morale improved. Pride returned. People don't commit to companies chasing numbers. They commit to companies that stand for something. Service felt intentional again. Quality became consistent. The experience felt human. Customers stayed longer. Returned more often. Starbucks didn't win them back with ads. It won them back with execution. Starbucks didn't rush recovery. It rebuilt carefully. Expansion resumed with discipline. Culture scaled alongside stores. The company grew stronger, not just bigger. This wasn't a comeback driven by luck. It was leadership-driven recovery. Most companies chase growth at all costs. Few are willing to pause and reflect. Starbucks proved that leadership isn't about speed. It's about direction. When a company remembers why it exists, growth becomes sustainable, and survival becomes success. The impact didn't show up overnight. But quarter by quarter, Starbucks stabilized. Customer satisfaction improved. Employee engagement rose. Revenue recovered steadily. The company didn't bounce back through hype, it rebuilt through discipline, and that made the recovery last. The company that emerged was different. Expansion became thoughtful. Culture scaled with size. Leadership listened more closely. Starbucks proved that fixing fundamentals creates strength no market downturn can erase. This was not survival. This was evolution. Closing thousands of stores looked irrational. But continuing without fixing the core would have been fatal. Most companies protect numbers. Few protect identity. That difference decides who survives when conditions turn against them. Starbucks teaches a simple lesson. Growth hides problems. Leadership confronts them. When a company knows who it is, every decision becomes clearer. That clarity saved Starbucks. And it's the reason great companies endure. Every business faces this choice. Protect today's numbers or protect tomorrow's trust. One builds temporary comfort. The other builds lasting companies. Which would you choose? Reply in the comments. And subscribe for more real business decisions that changed history.